Okay, finally we back with another movie review. Last time we did this, it was Avatar: Fire and Ash. I was gonna do a 2025, best and worst movies, but I feel like I didn't see enough this year for sure. I'm gonna see enough of that, so we gonna do that in this December at the end of this year. Just got done seeing Primate. It's a movie about crazy ass monkey who kill niggas, kill all these rich little kids because he got rabies. It was okay. It was like, for what it was presenting, I can't really be mad at it. It's some killer monkey movie with not much story behind it, so it did about as much good as it tried to. But all in all, it was still a pretty mid movie. Like, it has damn near no rewatch value. You're gonna hear my girl's opinion when I'm done with this, so be prepped for that. It starts off. I think these girls are going on a trip. I think it's I'm not even gonna bother with the names because they honestly don't matter. An older girl, going to visit her little sister with a couple of her friends. I think it is her little sister and her brother. She's gonna visit her little sister and her brother and her dad, her deaf dad, who owns a chimpanzee as a pet. And he has a big ass house. He's deaf. I think he's an author of a book or something like that. I'm not completely sure. They're going to visit him in Hawaii. He has like a house on an island in Hawaii. It was deaf dad, daughter, small daughter, monkey, and brother. With I think two of her friends. I think it's two girls. The people who are traumatized by the monkey is the boy, and like four other girls. The dad has to go away on like some little like some place where he has to sign signatures. He puts the signatures on the books and shit for the fans. So he's going out, I think, for a weekend. And then while just before he leaves, he sees that the monkey is bitten by a mongoose. And he drops the mongoose off at the vet before he leaves to see if the mongoose had any disease. And it turns out the mongoose had rabies. But the dad, for some reason, doesn't believe that a mongoose can have rabies, because apparently rabies don't exist on a Hawaiian island. So he calls bullshit and he wants it to be retested. The dad is kind of nonchalant about the possibility of the monkey being affected with rabies, and he doubts that even if he was affected with rabies, he's in the cage, he's fine. But while the girls are all chilling, big sister's best friend kind of gets down with the girl's brother. I gotta get the names together. But there's a little flirting going on, and then the one of the girls walks in the kitchen and then sees, I think, blood on the floor, and then it like leads up to like a teddy bear. And they see that there's blood on the teddy bear, and then they're like, oh, where's the monkey? What's going on with the monkey? Actually, no, she goes in and she sees the monkey, and then the monkey tries to attack her, but she isn't able to because she runs to the sister. Then the sister comes in, and then they see the blood, and then they're like, oh, this is the monkey's teddy bear. Why is it bleeding? What happened to the monkey? And then they realize that there was a zookeeper that came in, and he was the first one to witness Ben. Ben is the monkey's name. First one to witness Ben in his rabies state. So he goes in his enclosure. He leaves the door unlocked, obviously, because you ain't gonna lock yourself in there with a chimp. He goes in there. Ben's already infected, and Ben kills him off screen. And then the girls, they're worried. The girl is telling the sister that, oh, Ben almost attacked me. Then they're looking around for Ben. And then they all go out to the pool, and then they inform them that Ben is somewhere bit, and then they they hear the vibration of the zookeeper's phone coming from the cage. So they go see, and I think that's when they see his body. I'm kind of forgetting the middle part. Then they go back down to the pool, and Ben is there. He's like trying to attack the brother and the girlfriend of the brother. But they all come and they try to hatch a plan. At this point, Ben already killed someone, but he's kind of still in that transition to murderer phase. So they hatch a plan real quick out of panic to tie a rope around his neck. And I think it was tie a rope around him in general. They weren't trying to kill him. But then Ben kind of like lashes out, and he attacks the younger sister and bites off her leg. but he like bites the sister, and then they're like, oh shit, Ben has rabies, and the sister might be affected with the rabies. So to escape Ben, they all go into the pool, and that's where the whole camping, trying to stay away from him starts, because Ben can't swim. And Ben does have this tablet that he uses to communicate. You know, it's the one autistic kids have, or special needs kids have, where they're not verbal, but they press the buttons to speak, and it's like, the name, eat, Leah, Lacey, all of that bullshit. While they're waiting in the pool, I think they're tending to the sister, and then Ben, they all kind of go towards the ledge. The pool is like that, you know, Franklin's house from GTA, where like the ledge is kind of like, the ledge of the pool has nothing in front of it and it's just straight drop. That's kind of how it's designed. So they all back up to the middle, and then the brother is like, yo, I'm gonna try to push this nigga off the ledge. And I'm not gonna lie, that whole time I was saying, yo, if he go over there and push him off. So I didn't think that was a bad idea. I'm like, yo, go and kill this mother. At this point, there's still love for Ben, because they didn't know for sure he killed someone, but they know that he's attacking people. But you know, there's still love coming from the older sister and even the younger sister. I think he manages to push Ben over, but this dumbass hangs over the ledge, look like he's looking back like, oh, I did it, yeah, I pushed him off the ledge. And then Ben comes up and grabs him by his neck, I believe, and then he uses his legs to like kind of hit him with a Hurricane Rana from WWE, and then just throws him off the fucking ledge. And then the brother flies off and cracks his goddamn neck, skull, whole body on the rock all the way at the bottom, and the brother dies. And that's where everybody realized, oh shit, this isn't Ben, this ain't Ben no more, this is a wild animal, we really gotta nigga. And it was pretty brutal. I'm telling you, this movie does have some brutal ass kills. And it's crazy because the movie about an hour and a half, and I know it's fictional, I know, but it's like, damn man, how long does it take? Actually, I'm gonna search this up. I don't know how long it takes for somebody to get killed by rabies. Oh, never mind, it takes more than a day, so he had plenty of time to kill him. That makes sense. I always thought rabies was like, for animals, I thought it just takes a few hours. They're all in the pool again. At this point, the little sister's passed out. They grab this floaty to put her on it. So she's like on one of them flatbed floaties in the middle of the pool, and they're all waiting, talking to each other. And Ben gets the tablet. He's stalking them on the ledge of the pool, and then he uses the tablet, and he's like, the brother's dead. He starts taunting them. And that part was cool but goofy at the same time, because it's like, how the f is he, like, I get he's smart, but he's infected by rabies, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's like taunting them, telling them that he killed the brother, and then they're like, this nigga is not Ben no more. I think while they're talking, Ben climbs up on one of those ropes that hold lamps. It's like lamp on a rope. So he's like crawling on it, and they don't even know. So he grabs one of the friend's hair and rips off her hair from her scalp. And the only issue I have with that, it was a pretty gruesome moment, and it would be pretty cool, but right after that, the girl doesn't act like she had her hair ripped out. Like, her hair's ripped out, she's like, ah, and then she grabs it, and then there's blood, but then she doesn't mention it ever again. I don't even think we see a pure wound from that. We just see it get ripped out and her have some blood on her hand, and then we don't see the aftermath of it. There's these two dudes that pull up during the movie, but I think that is after this. So the friend and the older sister hatch a plan to get the brother's phone from the living room. So they're like, boom, when Ben is distracted, we're gonna go up in the living room and grab the phone. So they go grab the phone, or they go to grab the phone, and by the time they go in there, one of them accidentally turns on the TV and it starts playing Dora the Explorer, which is so fucking stupid. But then they both get scared and they hear Ben running down, but he's like, you know, he's upstairs in the house. They hear him running down. They probably had like 20 good seconds to grab the phone, but they don't grab the phone. Instead of grabbing it and going to the closet, they just run straight into the closet, risking Ben smashing that. It's like, you came here for the phone. Honestly, they could have ran back to the pool in the time it took and locked the sliding door that they came through. They came through a sliding glass door. But instead they hop into the closet and then decide to play peekaboo with Ben. Ben come in the room. He starts like wilding out, he's screaming and shit like wow, wow, all that monkey shit. Then he ends up, it's quiet, he calms down, and then he starts watching Dora, and then they're both in the closet. They're like, oh man, he's calm. And then boom, he breaks the TV, but they both like scream. They're like, because he breaks the TV. But it's like, what was you expecting? You really putting your life in danger because of something you could have assumed was gonna happen. So Ben breaks the TV. They alert him to their spot in the closet. He doesn't know for sure if they in there, but he knows he heard a noise. So he goes, he's breaking the door, he's going crazy, he's like ripping down clothes. And that, it looks like one of those small closets you see in them guest rooms that like has the iron, the flat iron in there. It's like a small ass closet, but somehow there's this see-through shower curtain that's in there that Ben can't see through because he keeps breathing, smoking this with his hot ass breath. And then he's just like, he goes close, he's like and they're like right next to him, but he can't see him. Then he ends up giving up, and so the sister's like, okay, this is our chance, I'm gonna grab the phone and then we're gonna run. So they're both like sneaking out the closet, and then they go towards the phone. Oh no, they actually forget about the phone. That was the dumb part. I don't think they ever get the phone. They're like trying to make their escape, but then while they're walking towards the sliding door, they hear Ben's tablet, and it's like Lucy Bad. I think the sister's name is Lucy. That's what I'm gonna call her for the rest, because I don't know her name. But it's like Lucy Bad, Lucy Bad, Lucy Bad. And then they look up, and then that motherfucker was on the beam on the ceiling of the living room with the tablet, just pressing it. The friend hung back towards the closet a little so he doesn't end up seeing her, and then he tackles Lucy. He loves Lucy, by the way, like, but it doesn't matter at this point. He's a killer, so there's nothing really keeping him from killing her besides the stupid ass plot. But he tackles her, he starts beating on her. He doesn't really brutalize her, he more like just bruises her shoulder by doing the little ground pound shit. And then the friend comes. Friend like puts him in the chokehold and like throws him back towards the closet. They both hurry out the room, not grabbing the phone. They can't really do it while they're getting attacked, but you know, they basically wasted time. They're like on the sliding glass door. The sister gets out first, and the friend gets out and closes it right in time for Ben to like kind of jump off the window. It doesn't break or none, he just jumps off it. And then it's kind of locked with like this big handle, and then she locks it. Ben tries to unlock it, but she's stronger than him, and I don't know how, because you'll see when I explain later, they portray this dude as, you know, the strongest ape to ever live. He over here like grabbing niggas and throwing them around and shit, punching niggas like grown men. You gonna hear. She manages to hold it closed while he's trying to open it. He doesn't really try that much, but you know, she's keeping it locked tight, so I don't even think there's a lock on it. Like, she's using her strength, she's overpowering him, which is, this doesn't make any sense. But you know, he gives up, and for some reason she like challenges him. She's like staring him down. Oh man, she's like, ah! And then they're both like looking at each other, and then both of the girls back up from the glass because the sister's like, look out, because Ben's going to the back of the living room to charge up to drop kick the window open. So they start running, he drop kicks the window, and then they're both running down the stairs trying to get to the back to the pool. Her friend trips down the steps, of course, because you know that shit always gotta happen in these movies. Her friend trips, and then the sister realizes it. She's like, oh no, I gotta help her. And she walks up the steps a little bit and sees her friend getting her head smashed in by the damn chimpanzee, just getting straight brutalized. So the sister runs. She gets tackled by Ben. Ben does his little ground pound thing again. I think that's what happened. And then the other friend that was in the pool with the sister comes out, and then is like, come, I'm over here, Ben, I'm over here. Distracts him. He like, I think he goes towards her, and they both jump back in the pool. And then that's the brother and the friend down. That's three people down, counting the zookeeper. It's this black dude and this white dude. They both pull up, barge through the crib, start taking beers out the fridge, and like, yo, anybody home? It's a dope ass crib, orgy time, whatever the f they be saying, some stupid ass teenage shit. They both split up. The black guy stays downstairs, the white guy goes upstairs, and Ben, the white guy goes into one of the girls' rooms, And you know, around the bed she has like that queen size bed with all the curtains around the bed. It's like see-through curtains, but it's kind of blurry. So this weird ass nigga, he goes in there, he's like, oh, anybody in here? He sees a picture that he sees Ben, but he's not sure what he's seeing. So he kind of just waves it off, and Ben kind of like disappears under the bed or some shit. And then he lays down, the white boy lays down on the bed, sees a photo frame on her nightstand of Lucy. This is Lucy's room, Lucy and Ben. And he's like, who the fuck has a pet chimpanzee, and has the thing in his face. And then he puts the picture down, and Ben's like, he's like in the curtain but face all up in the curtain. This is like, this nigga Ben out of nowhere trying to be on some like Freddy Krueger. It's definitely goofy, but I kind of expected it, because you know, you gotta have some type of killer personality when it comes to these slasher movies. But he sees Ben, and now he really knows that it's the monkey, and he's like, oh, hey monkey, that's a good monkey. And Ben's kind of playing around with him. He kind of like is slowly creeping up to him, and then Ben like out of nowhere grabs homeboy legs, and then homeboy like, oh, you gotta take me out to dinner first, you know, because it's like, it looks wrong as he trying to put this nigga in missionary. Ben sets him down, and then Ben goes on top of him. He's like, yo, get the off me, monkey. Ben is, he's like, he's keep cussing Ben out, and then Ben slowly like trying to grab him, and he grabs his mouth, and he rips off the white dude's jaw. It just looked weird. It looked like he had intestines in his mouth. So that's why it kind of took me out of it. And you know, he kills the white boy, and he takes the jaw, drops it on his face, and then he takes it back. And then the other girl's like, yo, while he's about to kill this nigga, I'm about to go grab the keys and grab the car and get help. But I'm pretty sure she's like, she was kind of like an asshole. I don't know too much about her character, but she's like just ready to dip. But while she's walking up, she sees Ben like smashing the black dude's face in, so he's already dead. We don't really see the aftermath of the black dude, because you know, he just got ground pounded on some Donkey Kong shit. She gets in a car. There's like two cars. It's one, I forget whose car it is. She didn't press the lock button at all till she got in the car. So she's trying to start the car, and the key won't go in. And then she realizes that it's for the car next to her. So I understand, in a panic, you're not going to look at the brand on the keys, or at least some people won't. I think I would. But honestly, I would unlock the car as soon as I get out, so I know what car to go in. But she just hopped in the whip, and then she's like in the car. The doors is unlocked, but she's still in the car. And then stupid, she takes the key, and then she presses the unlock button for the car on the outside. You know, it makes that loud ass sound, and before she's already in the car. So now she's in a car that she has the wrong keys for, and now the monkey heard the car alarm. So now she gotta kind of race against the monkey to get into the car. But as soon as she opens the door, he like comes out the garage, and he has the correct car keys in his hand. So he creeps up in front of the car, and then she locks the door, and then he unlocks the door. And then they're like, she keeps locking it, you know, with her finger, trying to press it down, and then he keeps unlocking it. And then the key has the trunk open button, and then it automatically opens the trunk. And then she realizes it. She looks back, the trunk's open. She looks back in front of her, and Ben's gone. So obviously this nigga's on his way to the car. And then she looks to her right, and then Ben is like creeping up, and he's already in the car. So then she tries to escape. She opens the door. You probably saw this in the trailer. She like jumps out the car, but Ben grabs her by her panties and just rips her back in the whip, and then closes the door, and then starts bashing her, beating the out of her. I'm telling you, this is probably the most brutal kill, because you see everything. He's like ripping into her, punching on her. He's like damn near eating that bitch. At this point, the dad pulls up, and Ben didn't really make a mess in the house because everything happened outside. So she goes up, leaves her dying of rabies sister in the pool, I'm pretty sure, and she goes in the house, and then it's her in the back of the house, monkey in the middle of the house, and then dad in the front of the house. And remember, the dad's deaf, if I ain't bring that up. So the dad walks in, he doesn't see anything, obviously can't hear nothing. So he goes in, he like pops a beer bottle, he like chilling, he doesn't know what's going on, and Ben is slowly like creeping up to him. But then Lucy gets inside and she's like, Dad, no. I don't know why she knows her dad's deaf. I don't know why she goes and making noise. She sees the monkey about to attack him. Then the monkey turns around and like tackles her in the living room, and then they're like fighting and shit. He's like beating the fuck out of her. Not bad, but he's like hitting her pretty damn hard. And then meanwhile, the dad's still in the kitchen because he doesn't hear what's going on. He just drinking his beer, just thinking about, oh, maybe everybody's sleeping and shit. I don't know why he didn't really worry about, the car in the driveway. I guess he's just one of them chill ass dads. Oh, no, his car pulls up and there's two whips. My bad. It was the boy's whip and the Lucy's whip, and then he comes with his car. But apparently he's not suspicious of it at all. So he comes in, he chilling while the monkey beating Lucy's ass. Lucy tries to calm him down. She's like, Ben, chill. And then they would do this thing back before he had rabies, which they would hold hands to calm him down on some Hulk and Black Widow shit. Sun's getting real low bullshit. And then he takes her hand and breaks it. That was from the trailer too. I kind of wish that they didn't show that. He's like beating on her again, and oh yeah, he's beating on her, trying to grab her, and then she takes her finger and stabs it in the rabies bite wound that he got, and he screams. He runs away. The dad's still in the house chilling. She runs away, goes to the patio, and then she's getting beat on again. And then the sister comes and she's like, get off my sister. And then Ben tackles her and gives her a big ass scratch on her back. I'm pretty sure that's when that happened. So not only does she have a big rabies bite in her leg, but she has scratches all over. And I'm pretty sure everybody got infected with rabies at this point, everybody that's alive. So it's the two sisters getting jumped by I can't say somehow, he's a chimpanzee. He goes back to the older sister and he's about to kill her. He's about to hit her with the ultimate ground pound or some shit. On some Smash Bros. And then the dad comes and he uses this whistle thing. It's kind of like a dog whistle, and it kind of like sets Ben in place, and Ben listens to it. He stops and then he sees his owner, but then the dad is like, he does the whistle thing, but he's like ready to fight this nigga. So boom, they go into a little fist fight, blah blah blah. They scrapping, and then I thought dad was gonna be here trying to get Ben back to his regular roots, like trying to get his mind back in place. It's way too late for that shit. But he doesn't even try that. He comes here ready to scrap with Ben. Like, they throwing straight haymakers at each other, like straight punching the shit out of the dad. The dad's pretty good. He kind of eats the punches from Ben. And then the daughter comes, grabs Ben around his neck. I think they try to help out, but then Ben kind of like wipes him away. I don't know. I can't even remember this. Dad ends up stabbing him deep in his chest. So then he throws Ben off, and they all thought it was over. They're all hugging on the edge of the balcony. The balcony kind of has a kind of closed off with a glass little fence, and then the older daughter's in the middle of the hug, and then she opens her eyes and she sees Ben's ready to charge. So she moves her dad and her sister out the way, and she's like, ah! And then gets she's like yelling at Ben as Ben's coming to charge her. I thought she was gonna move out the way so he falls off, but she kind of just lets him tackle her. So there's supposed to be like a sacrifice, but like, just let that dumbass nigga jump off the balcony. He like charges her through the glass, it shatters, and then the dad grabs her as they're falling, and Ben's holding on to her. Oh no, Ben just straight up falls off. Never mind. He falls off and he gets impaled by these two random ass wooden sticks. And yeah, that's where Primate ends, bro. I gotta keep it 1,000. It wasn't a bad watch. I was mad excited getting into it. Every time you have your expectations too high for some low expectation shit like this, it was just like, you could tell the movie thought it was scarier than it was. I walked out not really scared. Like, there wasn't really moments I was scared of the monkey, because at the end of the day, it's an animal. It takes a lot. Like, only animals I'm really scared of is probably like, fucking bears and shit. All I'm thinking the whole time is we gotta put this crazy ass nigga down. And seeing him bash people's brains in, it's like, yeah, it's pretty damn scary, but I don't find him scary. If you walk into it saying, I just want to see this monkey kill niggas, this is definitely a 10 out of 10. But I walked in expecting somewhat of characters with background or some type of story, and that's just not what happened. But we're gonna give Primate, I think I said a 5 out of 10. And don't get me wrong, I know I gave Five Nights at Freddy's 2 a 6 out of 10, bro. I would change that in a heartbeat. I gave it a 4 now. I rewatched some of the movie reviews. I gave that shit a 4. But Primate, it's a 5 out of 10. 5 isn't really bad. It is a mid-ass horror movie. Like, the gore is good if you like that shit. I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, that's basically my only thing. This is the longest movie review I ever did. Damn, because I actually covering the whole goddamn movie. Most people liked it. I thought it was okay, mid, honestly. But that's the thing. And Shorty, she came out. Every time we watch a movie that gets her a little bit of excitement, she got to rate that shit at a 10 out of 10. So you know she gave this shit a 10 out of 10. She gave Avatar, Fire Ash 10 out of 10. Zootopia 10 out of 10. Even Five Nights at Freddy's, I think she said was a 10 out of 10 after she saw it. Which is like, bruh, sometimes a lot of people's opinions don't matter. Have her come in here. She gonna give her spill of the movie. And that's gonna do it for my movie review. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Alright, here she is.
Oh wait, it's her story. Okay.
Let them know your thoughts on it. I already told them that you gave it a 10 out of 10, but I want to see what you still thinking. We saw Primate like, I think 2 days ago now, something like that.
Hi, YouTube.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Daniela. So my review on Primate, it is a 10 out of 10.
I don't know how, but
it is a 10 out of 10. It was so good. My favorite part of the movie, like the whole thing was so good. I know he said, like right after we finished it, he was saying that the only reason why I was good was because of like the monkey, but it wasn't good in itself. Only when Ben was in the thing.
But yeah, that's gonna do it. It's a long ass movie review. It'll be a half hour. Yeah, y'all heard her opinion.
So good.
Mine matters more.
No, it really doesn't. His
know,
opinions like suck.
You know, I'm being honest. I'm purely honest. I need a good story. But that's all. 5 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
And we're gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace out.